नमस्कार दोस्तों. Justice Suryakant has taken the oath as the 53rd Chief Justice of the country. The Chief Justice of India is a very important post. The Chief Justice is the head of the Supreme Court. Along with it, he is also the master of the roster. That means he allocates different cases to different judges. He is a very important part of the collegium also. The collegium which recommends the president on the appointment and the transfer of the judges. So in this video, we are going to study about two very important things. One, how the Chief Justice of India is appointed. Second, how the judges of the Supreme Court are appointed. Welcome to Shriram's IAS UPSC Prep channel. Welcome to this series of Mastering Indian Polity through Mind Maps. I am Mayank Bhardwaj and let's begin our video. Now, before I start, I would like to tell you about the free one-to-one mentorship of Shriram's IAS. If you have any doubt in your preparation, the only thing which you have to do is to go to the description of this video, click the link, fill the form, and we are going to approach you. So, we are going to study about the procedure of the appointment of Chief Justice of India and the Supreme Court judges. So, this is the first map, दोस्तों. सबसे पहले the authority to appoint the Chief Justice of India. Now, Article 124 of the Indian Constitution empowers the President to appoint Chief Justice of India. So, it is the President who appoints the Chief Justice of India under Article 124 clause number 2. It's a very important information which can be asked in your prelims examination, and also it is very important for you to know as a citizen of this country. Now, what is the principle upon which the appointment is based? The principle is the principle of seniority. That simply means the senior most judge, the senior most Supreme Court judge who is found fit is appointed. In the history of the country, this seniority principle have been stepped over 2 times, but after that and before that, this seniority principle have been followed throughout. The senior most judge of the Supreme Court becomes the Chief Justice of India. Now, what is this senior most judge? How to decide the seniority? There are 2 important bases on which you can decide the seniority of an officer. One is the age, and the other one is the number of years or the amount of time which the person has been the judge. So usually it's not the age, but the amount of time the person has been the judge of the Supreme Court decides the seniority of a person. The person who has spent the most of the time, spent a large number of the time compared to the other judges on the bench of the Supreme Court becomes the Chief Justice of the country. So the senior most judge becomes the Chief Justice of the country. Now, what is the process? There's a simple process. The law minister consults the Chief Justice of India. The Chief Justice of India, who is now going to retire, and he is going to inquire about the senior most judge, whether he is fit in mind and everything is perfect or not. And then that consultation goes to the Prime Minister, who approves it and sends the recommendation to the President for the appointment, and finally the President appoints the Chief Justice of the country. Now, there is another important understanding which you must have, which is the appointment of the Supreme Court judges. Now, at present, there can be around 32 judges in the Supreme Court and even 34 judges in the Supreme Court, and 1 Chief Justice of India is there. How the appointment of the judges are made? Of course, everybody knows on the basis of the collegium system and the advice given by the collegium system to the President. But one by one, if we see, again, the authority lies with the President to appoint the judge of the Supreme Court. Now, how does the President appoint? President works on the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers. So, the recommendation is sent by the collegium to the Council of Ministers or to the President, we can say, and the President appoints. But who is the part of the collegium system? Now, the collegium consists of the Chief Justice of the country, the Chief Justice of India, and the 4 senior most judges of the Supreme Court. So, the 4 senior most judges along with the Chief Justice of India is responsible for appointing new judges to the Supreme Court of the country and transferring judges from one high court to the other high court. Okay, so there is a separate collegium for the high court appointments also and transfers also, don't forget. So, when it comes to the appointment of judges to the Supreme Court of the country, the 4 senior most judges along with the Chief Justice of India, and whatever advice which is given by the Chief Justice and his collegium to the President is binding on the President. The President has to appoint the person who has been asked by the collegium Okay, the president cannot go beyond or against the advice given by the collegium which consists of Chief Justice of India and 4 senior most judges. Now the rule again which we have discussed, consultation of the collegium is required and that consultation is binding on the president. So friends, this is how the judge of the Supreme Court is appointed, and on the basis of seniority, on the principle of seniority, the Chief Justice of India is appointed, as it has been appointed recently. Justice Suryakant became the 53rd Chief Justice of India. And with that, thank you very much for joining me in this video. Have a nice day and Jai Hind.